Hi there, it's Kevin Benedict, SAP Mentor and Enterprise Mobility Analyst. And I have with me as guest today Dave Wasden and Rod. How are you, Rod?
Good. How you doing, Kevin?
Good. These guys, I've worked with them in the past. Great guys, huge amount of enterprise mobility experience. And I just wanted to ask a few questions of you, Dave.
Okay.
So you guys are using HTML5 today, aren't you?
We do. We use HTML5 for some of our mobile applications, and we use it for our websites.
So when do you decide to use native, and when do you decide to use HTML5?
Well, typically a native application, we go that direction when we want to start to get the software to access hardware on the device. So when you start to talk to the camera, GPS devices, you can do some of that with HTML5, but as you start to get deeper and deeper into the hardware layer of the device, you'll want to use a native application as opposed to a HTML5.
Okay, so what's your experience been with HTML5?
We really like some of the new features that are available. If provided that the correct browser is on the device, simple, adding a video is very simple with HTML5, for example.
So what kinds of applications have people ask you guys to build using HTML5?
A lot of the stuff we do with HTML5, we're using, for example, the offline data caching, so that a person could have their browser application out in the field and be able to enter data even when they're disconnected from the server. So even though it's a web page, it works when they're disconnected and offline. A couple of examples. One is this application that is used for tracking the capacity of tanks. You can move the capacity indicators up and down here. There's the regular selector and then the fine adjustment selector.
And this is HTML5 on an iPad.
It's HTML5 on an iPad, kind of in a debug mode in this particular case.
Very good.
Another example, we have worked on a system where inspectors during a disaster recovery situation are going out into the field and are capturing using mapping and their GPS location incidents or situations out in the field where maybe there's a tree down or flooding. They can indicate that on a map just using their finger to touch it. Got
it. So Rod, I'm going to swing over to you and ask you a few questions. Sure. What are customers asking for? What kind of applications are you hearing customers want today?
Customers are asking for flexibility. They're asking for add-ons, the ability to have an application more of a product than just a one-time run and gun. They want to be able to add features down the road. Next month I want to add a customer login portal, and I want them to pare down, only see their data. And they're asking for flexibility. I want to be able to have multiple phones or multiple devices in the field with different OSs. I don't want to be locked down to one OS.
Okay. So are you seeing a lot of white-collar kinds of application, or are these inspections and field services? What kind of apps are you hearing people asking for today?
We hear a lot of the white-collar. We hear a lot of the business applications. Something that can help further their business along from just maybe they want to increase the number of technicians. They want to increase the number of work orders or inspections that they're doing. They want to drive their business, is what we're saying.
Okay, so they're seeing mobility as a way to increase value in their business or competitive advantage. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. Big competitive advantage there. Years ago, it used to be about saving paper, and nowadays it's more about saving time and increasing revenue. Through technology, can I increase the number of work orders, services, inspections that I do per day or per technician?
Okay, so back to you, Dave. Let me ask you a question here. Are you guys using platforms like middleware platforms to support your mobile applications today, or does HTML5 remove the need for that, or what's your thoughts?
No, you still need platforms to help move your products forward faster, and so a lot of what we use is open source technologies, things that are available out there that you can use as a starting point. They help you build applications in a componentized way a lot faster. It's providing the database storage capabilities. We also work with companies like Sybase with their database systems to capture data and transfer it between servers and clients.
So what kind of situation would you find yourself using Sybase as opposed to HTML5?
With Sybase, you have really a more enterprise level database system that's created to transfer lots and lots of data. And so as you get up to those levels, you want to use something that is built for that type of level of traffic moving back and forth.
Okay, so you have a big team here, all building mobility out of Boise, Idaho here.
Right.
So when would a company call you? You guys are experts in what areas, and when should a company call you guys to talk about building custom apps?
Okay. Well, we specialize in field management of data. So when someone's out in the field, they need to collect data on whether it's an iPhone, iPad. We do Android devices as well as old-fashioned laptops.
Okay.
And so anytime you need to move data back and forth, those are all good scenarios. I have here another scenario that we help companies with. This is a Carol Lampman application. This is an application that's used to basically market and disseminate information to your client base.
Okay.
So people that you work with, you can publish an application, whether it's an Android application or an iPhone application, specifically for those users of people that are interested in your content.
Okay, and in that context, she's a therapist that works with a large clientele, and that allows her to interact with her patients?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It allows her to gain information from people all across the world that are using her techniques, and they can send her information, they can basically communicate with her, and so that she can provide them more value.
Okay, so in the last minute or so here, what skill sets do you guys have that if people want, they should be calling you?
Okay. We work on all kinds of web type applications, and we also do native applications, and so we help consult with companies to help them determine what's the best direction to head and what technologies they should use as they mobilize their business and reach out to their clients.
Very good. And how can they contact you? What's your website?
Our website is www.zenware.com.
Zenware.com. Thank you very much, Dave and Rod.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.